was thinking about this, and it was reminded of a really familiar Buddhist story. And the story goes is that there was a teacher and a student that were walking along the road, and they were having a conversation. Basically, the student asking a question, the teacher basically helping to provide some level of guidance. And they came upon a stream, and in the stream, they found that there was a young lady that was dressed in really her Sunday finest, and basically it was obvious she was trying to figure out a way to get on the other side of the stream, and there was no bridge or no rocks to step across. So the Buddhist teacher basically said, "Here, climb on my back. I'll bring you across." So he did this and brought the young lady across, set her down, and they went on their way. Now, the Buddhist student had been told that this was not anything that was acceptable at all, ever. That was not something that you should be doing. And so the student basically was questioning. He says, "Well, this is not something we're supposed to be doing. Why is it you did this? Why did you choose to do this?" And this went on. And basically, the student kept bringing up the question, says, "Why did it work that way?" And eventually, the teacher basically turned around and kind of smiled, and in the Buddhist teacher way, and says, "I set her down 2 miles ago. Why are you still carrying her?" So when we were taught certain things, we were taught basic rules of how things are and what's supposed to happen and what the world is supposed to be like. I happen to have a little bit of experience in the healing role. I've actually had several jobs that have actually allowed me to express the healer within and actually help others to achieve that level of health. And when I was going through my training, going through school, before I got my degree, basically I was taught that, okay, this is the way that things are. This is the way that we're supposed to do it, and we're supposed to make sure you do this and you do that, and you follow these rules, and this is how you get people to be healthy. And as I got out of school, that's what I did. That's basically I did, and I had a reasonable level of success, but I can't say that I was as happy with all the results as I should have been. And I started looking and said, well, why is that the case? And I took a look at medicine's kind of does the same thing. So I was kind of following the medical model, and basically it says, okay, the power is in the potion, the power is in the removal of something, the power is in the change of whatever is out, and then basically it's the will, it's what goes on inside. It's where the power is. And what I came to learn after 35 years of working in the healthcare area is that ain't necessarily so. What I have found is that there is a whole lot more to the body than just that. I mean, we talk about the psychology of the body and things like that, and that's another aspect of it. But even beyond that, there's a spiritual nature that goes on inside, and as I see someone, basically I see that energy. I see that. I love the idea that you're talking about light workers, is that there is a light within each and every individual, and you can access it, and you can actually feel it, and you can actually see it demonstrated. But you have to listen with ears that hear, and you have to see with eyes that see. And what I had to find out is that just because I was taught all of this information doesn't mean that I was listening with ears that hear. It was simply because I was listening with ears the way I was taught to listen. And basically, that took care of a certain portion of the group that I was working with, but it wasn't really dealing with some of the key issues. And the thing is that it really didn't get all of the things that I wanted to get done taken care of. So I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to actually transcend my teaching and actually understand understand it. Now, does that mean that I've set all of that aside? No. Everything that I have learned is actually still part of the mix of things that I do when I actually work with someone. I actually get a chance to see that fully manifest inside someone. And I get a chance to help access that and help actually teach people, says, this is what's going on. And then I also have the opportunity to plant seeds of positivity, saying, you have an answer here. You actually have the ability here. I may actually be one of the things that I might get rid of a little restriction here, but the thing is that there's a power within that actually allows you to heal. And the thing is, I don't get into this in my office, by the way. The thing is that it's the truth is that we have a power within us. We have a oneness because we actually are connected with all. And thankfully, there isn't anything that you can see, taste, touch, feel, or experience that doesn't have the divine fingerprints all over. In fact, it is the divine. It's the expression of the divine. So God is in each and every one of us. So if I know that this is about this, and I know it about me, then I have to know it about you. And so guess what? That light that's within basically is that energy, that spark that basically came into being in demonstration of you. And it's already there. And there is a healer within that is part of that connection with the divine that basically knows that there was a perfect blueprint that you came into demonstration as. That's what that was the mold. That was the original plans. And the thing is that when you actually get past that, you realize that the demonstration is showing up. And guess what? Yeah, the building it's worn a little bit here, a little bit of deferred maintenance there. And all of a sudden, it doesn't always do everything you want it to do. Well, it doesn't mean that the original plans were faulty. It just means we got to do the proper maintenance. We got to do the proper things that necessarily allow you to fully embrace who you are. That's the key idea that we need to take a look at. Dr. Holmes tells us, it says, it's the belief that we do not have the ability to heal. It arises out of a mistaken idea that our power does the healing. That the intellect does the healing. All that the will and the intellect could ever do is to behold or watch the process. Gee, that isn't what I was taught in school. That isn't what I basically had to accept as the norm. Because that basically that's the traditional wisdom. Anyone know what an oxymoron is? I call it traditional medical wisdom. That's the oxymoron I can think of. Is that what we have come up with is there's a lot of great things that are out there. There's a lot of things that have come through the demonstration of God in the form of many modalities of healing. And guess what? They're all good because they're all God. Because they all came through that divine spark that basically allowed the universe to say, gee, maybe this would be it. And then all of a sudden it came into form. And guess what? You now have some marvelous medications and treatment modalities and acupuncture and all sorts of things that actually came into mind because someone was paying attention. Someone was part of that divine spark that says, gee, if we did it this way, maybe that would create it. And they took a look and see how it works. And guess what? It created a different experience. It created a growth. It allowed the opportunity for someone to actually fully be present in themselves. Dr. Holmes goes on to tell us that there is but one healer. This is the spirit of truth. There is but one life principle, and this is the God within us. There's but one final law. This is the law of good. There's but one ultimate impulsion. This is the impulsion of love. So we must forever rid ourselves of the idea that we are the personal man who does the healing. We must know that it is not I, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doth the works, or doeth the works. The divine Spirit is the only actor, the true Savior, the all in all, and is now manifesting itself And being the all in all has no opposition, has no competition. There's no otherness. It's only one. So when we talk about a one healer, that one healer is basically the collective idea that we are all that one energy. We are all interconnected. And yes, we have individualized that energy, and we've been allowed to use it in the way that we see fit. But the trouble is that we get in our own way. Because even though we know this, and I've told you about it, is that we don't believe it. We don't believe it. The trouble is that we don't act like it. We don't act like we have the power to actually create that experience, because we demonstrate all sorts of weird stuff. All sorts of weird stuff. I mean, we're so good at demonstrating weird stuff. We've got medicine, spending billions of dollars a year on research trying to catch up to you. That's just the universe, or God demonstrating through you, and basically by not believing it, you created some level of discord, disease, discomfort inside, and that doesn't allow the universe to come through and grow as you. So when we talk about belief system, and if I go back to I use an abbreviation for belief system, so if I ever use it now or in the future, just realize that it's not what you think it is. I call it BS. Because it's that BS, that belief system, that doesn't allow you to move forward. It doesn't allow you to be the expression of God that you are. It's the BS that actually doesn't free you up. The tethers that hold you back are of your own making. It's that belief system that creates the paradigm, which is the map of what we consider possible. So we have to take a look at, what is that belief system doing to you? What is something that's not serving you? What is not growing within you in the best possible way? If we understand that we are in charge, and basically it's us that's in the way, then we need to get out of the way. We need to basically say, I would love to express abundant health. And then we actually have to act like it. We have to change our exercise routine, our diet, how we see the world, how we feed ourselves emotionally, spiritually. Take a look at your diet. Not just the food you eat, but basically what I just mentioned, is that those are things that actually feed you and feed the mind and actually create part of that belief system as to who you are. I encourage you to move forward on this and to be the best expression of you that you can be, because there are people waiting for you to act. There are people that are out there that are waiting for you to be the best person to be. They need examples of people that have done what they really want to see happen, because they can't believe it themselves. So engaging and embracing this idea and growing with it allows you to be that expression of the divine. It allows you to grow beyond your belief system. Know that you and me waking and accepting this grander view, this grander vision, allows us to embrace the idea of our vision. Now, I'm not sure if you've looked at your programs, but the church has actually embraced a new mission statement, a new purpose, a new vision. And it's published on the cover. So, but the thing is, the vision for the church is awakening humanity. I'm sorry, it's a world that works for everyone. That world that works for everyone basically happens because we actually took action for ourselves. Basically, we need to make sure that we are clear so that we can actually be part of the process, part of the healing, part of the revealing to the world that there is a possibility beyond what's going on. What's happening, what's showing up. So awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. This is a delightful way of stating is that we are in an awakening process. Because you're in this room, you're in that awakening process. You're asking questions. You're allowing Spirit to say, gee, is there something I could be doing different that would be better? And as you do that, it allows you to complete the process of, yes, the divine works, and it worked for me, and it works for me now. Because you allowed that Spirit to work through you, in you, as you demonstrate into the world. So, as you go out this week and embrace this idea, know that you are being watched. You are being part of the leaders of the world. And as I embrace this wonderful idea, I know it for each and every one of you. And I know it for you now. I know that it's possible within you. I embrace you. I love you. And have a wonderful